Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 25th of September 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use my deck of cards for today's reading, the Gregory Scott Tarot. Let's see what the cards have to say about Saturday and what's going on. So with this deck, you get the little guidebook here. And I think this is like the cover page. Yep. And then we've got an ad for the YouTube channel and an ad for Los Scarabeo. Okay, and I just want to show you what some of the cards look like as well if you haven't ever seen these, just so you get an idea of what they look like. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle them a few times and choose 3 cards to see what the day is all about. And that heavy breathing is not me, that's the dog who is lying next to me. And he's really excited because I just gave him a little bone to chew on, so he's really happy. My mother is still in the hospital, so I'm taking him for walks. I'm giving him a little treats all the time because he's really missing her, so I'm just trying to make it a bit nicer for him. First, we've got the 10 of Cups. Okay. Then we have the 2 of Wands. And finally, the Tower. Okay, this is really interesting. Let's see what the cards are trying to tell you. First of all, the 10 of Cups is really the opposite of the Tower. The 10 of Cups is hopes and dreams being realized, you being in a really good place and getting everything that you ever wanted to experience in life. So in this case, it's the happy family unit, it's true love, it's a sense that everything is good in the world, being supported, having enough income to pay for clothing and being surrounded by a beautiful environment. Here we've got the rainbow, a symbol of hope and that there is good in the world, a reminder that love is really important. And then these 2 fountains shooting up, all of these good feelings create a doorway into spirituality and into living the kind of best life you can possibly live. It's similar to this card where the 2 wands create a doorway, but this is about life purpose and taking charge of your life. The 10 of Cups says that if you are in a good place, emotionally, spiritually, regardless of what's actually going on in your life, whether you have a family or you're single or you have the dream job or not, it's really important to work on the inner world and how you're feeling. Because when you create positive emotions in yourself and when you're spiritually well, that then creates a doorway for an angel to come in. And what I mean by that is if you're in a good place, you focus on the good stuff and you're able to expand it and make it bigger and take steps to bring more good things into your life. If you're full of resentment and you're unhappy, that doesn't create a doorway for more positive things to come in because you're kind of blocking them out. You're focused on the negative, the detail, and that kind of tunes out this voice of your higher self. And that's what I mean when I say an angel. The angel is a representation of your higher self. It's your guides, your ancestors, any kind of positive force that exists on the other side that works with you and encourages you to really manifest your hopes and dreams on this planet. It wants you to have a good time. It wants you to have a good life. And the rainbow is a reminder of that. So if you're in a difficult situation and you can't see beyond that, this card is a reminder that you have a lot of good stuff in your life, regardless of how difficult things are. There are always things to be grateful for. And it can be as simple as, you know, I've got shoes on my feet, I've got food on the table, there are people who love me, I get to look out a window and look at a tree. And I remember one intuitive I followed years ago, she said, if you want to reward yourself, just take a breath of air and say, thank you for the air I'm breathing. And I thought that was a bit much. I mean, yes, okay, we can be grateful for the air that we're breathing, but is it really a big treat? I guess if you are in a good place and you're grateful for everything, then becoming aware that you have an infinite abundance of air to breathe can be good. And that kind of highlights this point that everything is subjective. If you're in a good place already, then you really appreciate the little things in life. And if you're in a bad place and if you're struggling, then every detail can become a confirmation that, you see, I'm here to suffer and life is difficult. So the card is, yes, you can manifest your hopes and dreams, that there are forces of good that work with you to make that happen, but that really a little bit of discipline is involved as well, because it's the outlook that really determines the direction you're going to go in. So a doorway for good is opening up in your life. And then we've got the Two of Wands, which also sees this path laid out in front of this young woman, and she's able to walk through it because she feels passionate and confident and she's fired up. Something motivates her. So that's interesting, because if you are in a positive space, the cards are saying that that will give rise to an inner fire lighting up within you and giving you a sense of direction. You're not going to find that sense of direction by being overly focused on what doesn't work. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're in a good place, that opens up the way for things to become even better. If you're not able to see the good in your life, then you'll miss opportunities that really can support you and that can help you to take control of your life. So usually the Two of Wands shows a young man with the world in the palm of his hand, and it shows that he is passionate about his experience in life, and because he's invested in himself, he can design the world to be whatever he wants it to be. That opens a door so that he can take action which is going to realize those inner hopes and dreams. But in this deck, I decided to give her a crystal ball, because that kind of says that you're connecting with something that is invisible and you're using your intuition to work your way through life. It's not just about what motivates you and what encourages you to compete. It's a connection with the inner world that's just as important as what you can do on planet Earth. And you can source your motivation from many different places. So you may have something to look forward to during the day, a job that you love. Okay, great, I'm going to that. I'm going to speak to the boss and see if I can change the role or adjust it so that it suits my needs more. Or I've got something fun in the day coming up that I look forward to. Or I have a talent within that really motivates me and that inspires me to paint or to travel or to learn or to move. If you connect on a spiritual level and you connect with the higher self and you let the kind of angels whisper in your ear, that can show you a vision of your future that you may not have been aware of yourself. So it can't motivate you because it doesn't exist within you. So sometimes it's important to reach out for help and to say, what could happen? Surprise me. Let life kind of intervene and say, do you know what? This is beyond your wildest dreams. And because I'm making you aware of it, that's what creates a doorway, and you can work towards that. So you can see the path laid out is somewhat misty and foggy. So again, you may not have total clarity, and that's been a big theme this week, and that's okay. Accept that if things don't make total sense. And look within and ask yourself what motivates and inspires me. And also, what does my higher self want me to do? You've got a great amount of trust here that if you continue on, regardless of where you're at right now, life can get better and you can realize your hopes and dreams. You're not here to suffer. You're here to live a good life. The Tower is the opposite, okay? The Tower is your physical circumstances. So we've got this huge tower being blown up, and it's something that you've relied on and you've built up as you've gone through life, and it's a permanent structure or something that has supported you for a long time. Something happens that really interferes with this sense of security and the sense of everything is predictable and structured, and it may make you feel like you go flying. The rug has been pulled out from under you. Something really dramatic happens that forces you to start all over again and start fresh. So this is the potential to really be super startled or to be thrown for a loop by something which is outside of your control and that comes into your life without any announcement or prior knowledge of this thing happening, and you really then have to deal with it, and it feels somewhat dramatic and chaotic. And it's interesting that we've got really the best thing in life here. So feeling completely content and happy with what you got. And then this card, which is very different in the sense that everything is taken away from me. I don't feel good. I've worked so hard and it's all been for nothing. So the potential to really be discouraged and to feel hopeless. And then we've got the Two of Wands in the center, because what that means is whether you are in a fabulous place and you've got all these great things, or everything has been taken, ultimately, if you ask yourself what inspires me and you connect with the higher self and say, okay, universe, what do you have in store for me? What's the plan here? Then it really doesn't matter where you are, because you can tread a new path and you can go wherever you want. You can take a left up here, and if the thing for you that's important is relationship, then you can work at that today. Or if you, for example, are unemployed and that's really causing you a lot of stress, then you can take a right or go straight forward and focus on career and employment on this day. So the cards are saying that it's important that you don't take your life as it is so seriously right now, because you have a lot of power and control over the future, even though it may not seem that way and it may seem fuzzy and like it doesn't make sense. If you put the left foot in front of the right foot, you will eventually get to a good place, and it really gives you a clean slate. The Tower in itself as well is a kind of wake-up call, in the sense that your plans and everything that you've worked towards may not always turn out the way you want, and to stay flexible and to be adaptable, and if one door closes, to look at what other opportunities exist in your life, because we've got two doors here, and not to go on strike and to say, well, this didn't work out, so I'm just going to sit here now and sulk. Instead, give yourself the support to say, okay, that is what happens sometimes, that not everything goes my way. And that is okay, and I can continue forward. It's really no skin off my nose, and I still have the energy and the power and the presence of mind to move ahead with my life. And that in itself is something to be grateful for. Just waiting for that giant truck to pass. So your health, your ability to continue on, I think at the most simple, basic level, that is something to be grateful for. And if you struggle to be grateful, then look at those two things and say, do you know what, at least I have physical energy to make changes potentially in future. And that is something in the here and now that I can say thank you for. And as long as you do that, you say thank you, this pathway will appear, the doorway will open up, and your circumstances can change. So you're not a slave to your circumstances. Your destiny is not written in stone. You have a lot to say about that, and the perspective and the mindset is a big, strong influence that is going to determine how quickly you move forward or how much you idle and stay in this place of discomfort or uncertainty. So as they would say in the recovery programs, acceptance is the key. And if you accept something rather than resist it, then things open up and you can move forward again. Number-wise, we've got 10 and 2 is 12, and 16 is 28. We had 28 yesterday, I think, as well. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology, and that's the vibration of the magician, the pioneer, the person who listens to the higher self, then translates that information into practical action and works with it independently to create something unexpected or miraculous or magical in the real world. So you have the magic within, regardless of what your circumstances look like, whether they're amazing or terrible. Try not to judge them. Look through them. Realize that your circumstances are translucent at best, and that something lies on the other side of that, and you can go wherever you want. You are the magician. You have the power in you. The world doesn't have the power. So you don't have to acquire it or get it from something else. It already exists within you eternally. So it's a really good reminder to trust yourself and to believe in yourself and to be your own best friend, because that's where all the good is going to stem from. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, numerology, and my intuition in my personal readings, and I combine all those divination systems to really give you answers to questions you may have. So if you're looking at what is my life purpose, where should I be living, what should I be doing for work, why am I here, what direction can I move into, and what's going to be most rewarding for me and the people around me, then we can look at all of those things by looking at your chart and the tarot and the numbers. So if you do want to speak to me, get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous Saturday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.